medical opinion evidence is a really important factor to any case. I think that goes without saying. But there is law that basically says that medical opinions without the benefit of the entire record are essentially worthless. That's language that comes right out of case law, that without a full record, without having the entire record to review, the opinions that are issued are essentially worthless. Now, I don't necessarily think that every federal judge is going to jump on board on that if there's just a few records missing or they have the bulk of the record. But I've seen circumstances, for instance, where the ALJ found certain doctors to be persuasive and incorporated the limitations. But then you have hundreds and hundreds of pages of medical records that come after that. So the medical opinions that were issued were so just not restrictive enough. They were missing large amounts of restrictions because they only had like a small 10%, 20% of the record. And then 80% of the record comes in and it has all sorts of new limitations, functional limitations, exertional limitations, non-exertional limitations. I had a case like this come down. We had hundreds. I mean, it was probably close to 1,000 pages of medical records that were not considered by the state agency doctors. And the ALJ relied on the state agency doctors, incorporated it into the RFC, formulated an RFC that was not really very restrictive. And then we had like 100, I think it was like close to 1,000, 800 pages of material came in afterwards with all sorts of new conditions that were never considered by those doctors. So I was able to argue that the expert opinions were essentially worthless without having all of the record. And in fact, it was mind-blowing to me that the ALJ relied on these medical opinions without really any substance to them. There was no backbone to these opinions. It came back on appeal. And you have to keep an eye out for that. Again, don't let the ALJs get away with this stuff. If something like that comes up, send it out for review.